you do if you were a commissioner for a day? Oh, that's a good question. Because you know what I'd do. What would you do? Shutouts in Columbus are 10 points in the standings. Let's go! Give me what I want! Kick down the door! Drew, you are not doing this! Not nice! There's a giant hand! You hear yourself? I made like 2,000 of these. I'd like to have fun.
With you wherever you are, welcome to LFR.
Victory puppies, you hear that? Exactly. No, you don't. Yes, that's the stuff. That's the stuff. Sammy, have some smile, and Sammy, have some peace and quiet. Leafs win 3-0 over the Columbus Blue Jackets. And I gotta tell you, I looked at this home and home series on the schedule and thought, I don't care. It's the Blue Jackets after the All-Star break, no Matthews in the lineup. How am I gonna get jacked up about these games? And then TSN just right away, just hammering you with the facts about the bubble playoffs against Columbus. The 3-0 loss in Game 5, which was Game 7. Corpusalo with the shutout, and it's his first game against the Leafs since! And the fact that he had a 956 what? Save percentage? Pardon? Against the Leafs in that series? And after that, I wanted a dub. I wanted a big dub. And the Leafs provided. They come up with a 3-0 shutout of their own. So it's even. I couldn't even say it with conviction. Before we talk about the game, think you know which way it's going to go? Make your bet at Sports Interaction. When the puck drops, Sports Interaction has you covered pre-game, live betting on all major sports, and prop bets. Want to bet? Visit sportsinteraction.com/SDPN or download the app, because they got an app, don't you know? But it's 18 plus, and please play responsibly. That's why I'm $2 Steve. You can make fun of me, but $2 max. That's my max. So, what do we got in this game? Ilya Samsonov starting on the road, where he's had a little bit of trouble this season. And the Leafs intentionally give the second half of the back-to-back at home to Joseph Woll. That's a little bit of intrigue for tomorrow, which you can watch on Watch Hockey Night in Canada with Steve Dangle, presented by Coca-Cola. Alex Steeves gets called up because, as Kyle Dubas said at his press conference, the Leafs would like a little bit of extra depth, but they want to see if they can add from within, and everyone's getting earnest looks. On defense, we don't need it on defense. We already got that earlier in the season. They've had 12 guys dress? Up front, they've had a lot of guys give them good games, adequate games, games that prove if the Leafs were to have an injury in a pinch, you could call these players up and they'd be A-okay. Dryden Hunt is sort of in that category, Bobby McMahon, even a guy like Simeon Duragachintsev, who we didn't see a lot of, but he didn't do any real sinking. It was mostly swimming. But what the Leafs are looking for is guys who can thrive, really take a spot in the lineup, like Pontus Holmberg did earlier in the season. I don't know if you're paying attention or not, but Joey Anderson has kind of taken a spot. Will he still be in there once Austin Matthews is back? I don't know, but at current standing, it kind of looks like it. And Alex Steeves is a player I like so much. I just love watching him, loved watching him in the preseason. He hasn't had quite the season in the AHL that he had last year, but this guy has a nose for the net. So it's weird. The Leafs are a clear contender, but I'm almost watching them the way I watch them when they're bad. Like when they're rebuilding. When they're rebuilding, I watch individual performances so much more. Because tanking is, if done properly, a good thing for your team and a way to win in the future. But let's be honest, during those years where the Leafs were tanking, I wasn't actively rooting for them to lose. Like, I would tell myself I was, but when I watched the game and, the Flyers score, I wasn't like, yes, thank you for that, Wayne Simmons. No, that would come years later. It'd be like that Larry David meme where I'm like, it was mostly stuff like, yes, they lost 2-1 tonight, but Nylander and Kapanen look good. I like the hustle of those Hyman and Soshnikov kids. All four of those guys made their NHL debut on the same night, by the way. Yeah, that was a rebuild. But in this situation, I'm watching individual performances because, let's be honest, it's only a few weeks from the NHL trade deadline and guys are getting evaluated. And right now, with a legitimate superstar out of the lineup, we got to see what other guys can do. Like, it was one thing for William Nylander when he was taken off of Matthews' wing, but then he was taken off of Tavares' as well, and all of a sudden Kerfoot's his center. That's a big difference. Pontus Holmberg, I talked about how he grabbed a lineup spot. It's slipping a little bit. He's got to take it back. And Rasmus Sandin, who, even though he just signed a 2-year contract, is in trade rumors. Nothing exactly specific, but I'm seeing a lot out there where people are tying themselves into knots thinking about how the Leafs can acquire a big fish, let's be honest, Timo Meier, without giving up a first-round pick, or at very least, Matthew Nyes. And in some games, Sandin come see, come saw. Well, guess what? Sandin runs over Kent Johnson. And it's incredible how he does it. It's the Leafs. Let's be honest. I think teams look at the schedule and they go, okay, the Leafs, they're going to be hard to beat, but we're not going to get beat up. And you're looking up and down your lineup for who's a problem, and yeah, that guy can sort of hit, and yeah, Bunting's going to be a pain, and whatever. The guy who consistently lays the biggest open ice hits on the Leafs is Rasmus Sandin. He levels guys, and welcome to the league, Kent. That was at the end of the first period, and it led to a retaliatory power play that the Leafs didn't score on, and I was upset. But the Leafs did have a power play earlier in the first period that they did convert on, and it was a thing of beauty. Mitchell Marner. Unbelievable! Mitch Marner gets the puck in stride on the power play. The Blue Jackets are in shambles. The Leafs are in great position. Look at this! Look at this photo! Look at it! You see William Nylander wide open? Who do you think Mitch passed it to? If you guessed barely visible John Tavares, you're correct. Look at this! Look, he's using the NHL like it's an actual video game. Passing to William Nylander, that's rookie mode. That'd be too easy. But pass it to Tavares for this goal, oh, that's legendary. I gotta put it full screen once again. He passed to Tavares on this one, and it worked! John Tavares is a Leaf and the goal scorer, but forget all that. I just need the reactions. First, here's William Nylander. Look at him, standing there like a disappointed supply teacher. Look at him, I have better things I could be doing with my time. And then people were talking about Mitch like almost apologizing to Willie in the celebration little hug huddle. I'm here for John Tavares' sheepish Mona Lisa smile right here. He knows he shouldn't have got that puck. How did he get that puck? Mitchell, like, do you bring that up in video? Like as a teachable? Sheldon Keefe really gonna be like, all right, so see what Mitch did here? I don't want none of the rest of you trying that. He can do that because he's ridiculous. None of you don't. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. You want to get sent back to the Marlies? Don't do it. So the Leafs head to first intermission. They're out shooting Columbus 14-6. They're outscoring them 1-0. Life is good. Second period, life's not quite as good. It's a little bit chaotic, actually. Far too chaotic. It was aggressively turning into a snooze fest before it just sort of kicked up a notch. 29 shots in the second period alone, 14 for the Leafs, just like in the first period, but instead of 6 in the second, the Blue Jackets had 15. My favorite stat about those 15 shots is Ilya Samsonov stopped them all! And he had some big ones early in the third too, which was handy because the Blue Jackets were one shot away from tying it. And the Leafs, stymied by Korpisalo and the Columbus defense at every turn, thought, what can we do to score? Well, it was a preposterous passing play last time, but let's try that again. But preposterous passing plays do not just pop out of nowhere. You gotta work for them. So David Kampf, third liner, working along the wall to get the puck loose, and it does come loose. To Pierre Engvall, who's gotta work it out from along the wall. Kampf gets it back, dainty little pass over to Morgan Riley, who sends it back to Engvall, who after winning the battle along the boards gets into scoring position. This is what scoring position looks like for Pierre Engvall. Look at him all wide open because he worked for it. Tonight, his 11th of the season, the Leafs are up 2-0. And I want to put Engvall's stats into, this is a ridiculous stat, is all I needed to say. Remember I talked about when the Leafs were rebuilding and really bad? And then there's now. Now, the Leafs are in another echelon, and the criticisms that they face are valid. They're the criticisms that an elite team faces. A team with aspirations of winning the Stanley Cup faces. That being said, they are so much better than they were a few years ago! Engvall now has 11 goals on the season and 26 points. For my own curiosity, I looked it up. The year Leo Komarov went to the All-Star game representing the Toronto Maple Leafs, which was the 2015-16 season, which was the season the Leafs finished in last place in order to get Auston Matthews, Komarov had 19 goals and 36 points. My question to all of you, will Engvall have more goals than Komarov did that season, more points than Komarov did that season, or both? Because 11, he's 8 goals back with the amount of time left in the season that's kind of far back, but You're forgetting I started awful. The way he's heating up, I think he's going to do both. I do. And just for fun, we got one more, and I want to break this down a little bit because it's an amazing play. But it's a lot of blink and you'll miss it stuff. First and foremost, Tavares carrying the puck tries to enter the Blue Jacket zone, but he's hounded by Cole Sillinger and actually has the puck poked off his stick, so he's not possessing it. But Sillinger himself pool cues the thing across the line. But even though the puck is in the Blue Jacket zone, it's squirted loose and the Blue Jackets have it. Now they try to get rid of it. Mitch Marner crosses the line and he's also being hounded. He's got his stick lifted in the air. No matter, he receives the puck in his feet. And he looks down and he says, "Feet, I've got 2 of those." Puts it between his legs to John Tavares, who is wide open, because why would you cover him? We have the puck. Wait, no, we don't. That ridiculous child has it. JT makes absolutely no mistake. Dude, we're forgetting how absolutely magical those two were together in, I think it was the 18-19 season. Tavares is first in Toronto, 47 goals. Goofy. They're goofy. They're such a simple combination. It's like, why didn't we think of it before? One of the best playmakers in the league, one of the best goal scorers in the league year in and year out, at very least most consistent. I don't know about getting 47 again or flirting with 50, but the dude gets out of bed in the morning and scores 30. Yes, I know he had 27 last year, but why does no one ever seem to remember he was coming off a major injury last season? You know what's incredible? I'm just looking at it. The 47 goal season, Tavares' first season in Toronto, was his last 30-plus goal season. But the circumstances around it are what made us forget. He's got 23 and 53. He's probably going to hit it this season fairly easily. Last season, he played 79 games. That's a full, complete season. But again, he's coming off a major injury. Still had 27. He had 19 in the Canadian bubble in 56 games. Still had 50 points. He would have had far more than 19 had the season been longer. And I think the reason we tend to look at Tavares' totals and go, what a bum, is because Matthews had 41. In the 19-20 season, he had 26 goals in 63 games. That was the season. Oh yeah, that was the season that was cut short because of COVID. I love those two in there together. I call them the Reese Peanut Butter Cup line. One's chocolate, one's peanut butter. I'll let you decide who's who, but you put them together, it's delicious. Leafs outshoot Columbus 41-30. Samsonov stops all 30. Have some smile. That's the shutout, and the Leafs get the victory. Let's try to get another one tomorrow. Questions. This isn't a question, but I love this. Before the game, Ilya Samsonov has no interest in hearing the Columbus cannon tomorrow. No one warned him, so he was frightened by the blast the first time he heard it. And Tic Tac Tomar said, one of the realest things I've seen from a Leafs goaltender. Didn't want to hear the cannon, didn't allow the cannon to go off. Sammy, I love that for you. You're doing great. You excited for Tyler Myers to join the team? For the low cost of a 2023 first, he's yours. Yeah, there have been a lot of ridiculous rumors for this trade deadline, and a lot of them involving the Leafs. And the latest one to throw their hat in the ring today was the Leafs having interest in Tyler Myers. No, maybe. Dubas is weird. No! The Canucks are gonna have to pay to get rid of that guy. So let's say in theory the Leafs were to do that. The Leafs better be getting stuff. It doesn't make any sense. I don't see it happening. I'm not worried about it. And if it does happen, what? I've always thought he was great. It's still the World Juniors, right? This was just a stat that the NHL posted that I thought was funny. Samsonov is one of the fastest goalies to hit 70 career wins since the 72-73 season. He tied Frederik Andersen, getting his 70th win in his 115th game. He's one game behind Matt Murray, which is also hilarious. Did you see that Dallas fan get punched in the face? I did. Last but not least, this made me actually laugh out loud, so I would like to give you the gift of this tweet that I received from Brent B. Not a question, but I was at the game tonight and got this pic. Look at Dubas. Look at his face. Did you ask him? He looks like he knew the picture was coming at very least. Did you ask him? How long before did you ask him? How much time did he have to prepare? Did you see his phone? Who was he calling? Was it the Sharks? We need, producer Drew, can you find a way to incorporate this picture? in the thumbnail somehow. Brent, thank you for bringing that picture into my life. That's wonderful. So, for now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Enjoy the peace and quiet. Have some smile. Joseph Wool in net tomorrow night.